So, in the spirit of Halloween, I'd figure I would do the Marvel Legends 4-pack gift set of Marvel monsters. Of course, you see Dracula, Monster of Frankenstein, Werewolf by Night, and the zombie. Now, we're going to start with the zombie. Now, the zombie, his real name is Simon Williams Garth, and he first appears in Tales of the Zombie #1 in 1973. Simon Garth was the owner of a coffee company based in New Orleans, Louisiana. And unfortunately, he fired an employee that got pissed off at him, and he kidnapped him to be the sacrifice, the human sacrifice of his voodoo cult. Now, he gets taken, and they're about to sacrifice him when Layla, the priestess, who just happens to be also an employee and the lover of Simon, decides that she has to save Simon from being a sacrifice. Well, she doesn't, and he dies, but she resurrects him into an undead zombie. And the way his particular curse works is that there are 2 amulets. He wears one, and another person wears another, and whoever wears the other one is able to control his actions, or at least to some extent. He's like this quite a bit. He does manage to gain, he retains some of his memories, and he does manage to gain his human form instead of his desiccated corpse-like form for a bit to witness his daughter's marriage, which is, I guess, kind of a, it's kind of a respite for him, but soon reverts to being a zombie, and Layla and her grandfather, who is Papa Doc Cable, or spelled Kabel, or Cabal, they follow him around, try and get the amulet back from various people whose hands it falls into, and they're trying to help him go to his final rest. And they actually succeed in doing that, but unfortunately, Calypso, a voodoo priestess, another voodoo priestess, resurrects him once again. And just recently, he was used in Marvel Zombies 4 to contain the zombie virus. He's kind of a blend of your traditional zombie the movie, Brains zombie, and the actual real life zombie. Of course, the real life zombie being a particular process where someone is poisoned with actually the poison of the blowfish is a neurotoxin, so it can simulate death, and it slows the breathing and your pulse down. The blowfish is also popular as a delicacy in Japan, where it's known as fugu, and if it's not prepared properly, people can die from it, and many do. A handful a year. Anyway, in a real life zombie, what they would do is they would poison the subject, and they would then, after he was buried, they have to hope that he was buried quickly. They'd have to dig him up quickly too, and when he would wake up, the person would be kept drugged and used as a slave, and it's very dangerous, and a lot of people still die because they're in the coffin or whatever. They run out of air and they don't get to them fast enough, and sometimes they get too much of a poison and they actually die. And but there have been some real instances of these zombies, and so people keep these zombies drugged, and they become slave labor. And I think as recent as the 60s, there was someone who was rescued or escaped from his slavery, and after 20 years or 15, 20 years of being used as a slave, drugged up, came back to his family. And so anyway, and then of course there's the movie zombie, which is the brains, need flesh to survive, rip you from limb to limb zombie. And he's kind of a mix of the two, where he's very dead. He's definitely dead, but he does not go after you and try to eat your brains or flesh.